Hi, Budget Reloader coming to you from upstate South Carolina. Last night I finally mounted and assembled my Lee Classic Breech-lock Challenger press, or Breech-lock press, and mounted it on the quick detach board blocks get up, and just wanted to do a quick review of what I found out so far. I said in earlier videos that I was going to use my little Lee Precision reloader press, my C press, as a dedicated deprimer, but one of the things I didn't like about it was that very often the primers would not, I don't know if I'm in frame or not, the primers would not go down into the chamber and they would spill off either side. And some of the reviews for this press said that they had similar issues with the primers not hitting this this little funnel out here. And one thing about this press is it comes with both a large and small primer arm. And a lot of the other presses, that's an extra feature that you have to buy. Now, this is a single load, you know, you got to put the primer one at a time in there. They do have mounting holes for an auto-loading device that is extra on the Lee. But one thing I found out, I didn't put this in there because I said, well, I'm just decapping, so I'm going to put my brass in here, and boom. I'm going, well, that's not right. That's supposed to go over here. And then I looked at the design, and this slot here, you have to put this in, or that's what's going to happen. So that's deprimed. If you assemble the priming arm, and boom. And I loaded or deprimed a bunch of brass, and it hits this pocket every time. Some people were saying, and maybe they've modified this. You know, I found it odd that this piece here you actually screw onto the casting, and I wondered why, you know, why didn't they just cast this on? I think maybe at one time this was cast and it was only this high, and then they added this plate rather than changing the tooling. They just probably sawed this off, and then you can add this plate to prevent the primers from going out. And I heard some people talk about they taped up something a little higher so it would, you know, hit the funnel every time. But this seems to work fine. I haven't used it for anything else. A couple things I like about this, it's ambidextrous. Well, I don't need it to be ambidextrous, but you know, that's a good thing. And you can change the orientation. This has multiple orientations. You can stick this handle in, plus you can adjust it up and down to vary the leverage and the subsequent range of stroke. So, you know, that's a useful thing, I think. Be careful. I kind of was messing around, and I was, well, what if I try and prime this, and I push down without a primer in there, and this little plunger head got stuck in the case, and so you need to be careful, you know, not to do that. I have a Hornady hand loader. I'm not decided whether I'm going to use that or this. But we'll see how this goes. And of course, it has the breech lock, these locking rings. I'm probably not going to use them. The one thing I am going to use, this is a Lyman decapper, and it comes with this style of lock ring, which this is a brass set screw, so it's not going to screw up the threads, but it just isn't very logical. And if you look at I have some Lee dies just because I couldn't find any for 308 in the other brands. I kind of like Hornady dies, mostly because if you buy one now you get some free bullets. But their lock rings have this O-ring, and that is just not a repeatable lockdown. So I bought a bunch of these Hornady lock rings. I bought this 6-pack, and it was like $16. So, you know, 6 rings, $16. Do the math. is pretty cheap. So I replaced this ring on my decapper, and then I'm going to replace all of these rings on my Lee set with these Hornady rings, which, you know, they squeeze the whole thread and they lock up nicely and they don't damage the thread, and they have a precision location. So I would recommend that, and I saw that others have mentioned that on the internet as well. So that's just a good tip for you. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the quality and the performance so far. If I get anything different, I'll do an update video and let you know. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like.